Hey guys, welcome back to Seduce Me to the Demon War. We're gonna be doing part 4 for Damien. As sleep welcomed me, a thought ran through my mind. What would happen? Obviously the boys would help in the war, but what about Damien? He was indeed human and had no abilities to use as such. I'm also human, so let's see. Then again, maybe he could still use magic as a human? Carrie could do that, but she was a witch trained in magic. Damien's abilities came with his demon side, which he no longer had. However, I know that I can also use demon magic. How would he fight then? The question floated around my mind in my sleep as I drifted to a calm and peaceful sleep. And here comes the next nightmare.
Why can't I sleep?
Or not? Whoa, is he? Oh, for some reason looked like he was in his underwear. That sounded kind of creepy.
Something's wrong.
Something is indeed wrong, boy. You're in the demon world, and you won't even acknowledge
This
your
is creepy.
demon side.
Huh? What are you doing
Am I
here?
witnessing this?
Observing a disappointment for amusement. You keep continuing to fail at living so much that it's become
Is
a
that Diana?
wonderful form of entertainment. The demon who lost his powers. Doesn't that sound absolutely ridiculous? Let's replace it with the demon whose wife almost became the demon lord's next bed bitch.
What do you want?
Damn.
Oh, come now, don't be so hostile. You'll wake the human up.
So I am sleeping. So
She
I'm
and
not
I are both human.
having a nightmare?
I cannot believe it. Is that what you still think, boy? Do you truly believe yourself to be human?
So is Damien not here?
Yes. No matter how many times you taught me, I know the truth. I am human.
Well, I hate to break the delusion you may be under, but you should know that becoming a human is impossible for a demon.
That's not true. I've been a human for over 2 years now. I don't believe you.
It's a little weird to see Damien with this angry expression, but he speaks so calmly.
Then you are more of a disappointment than I imagined. God, why don't you just give up? Then again, if you gave up, then I would lose my entertainment.
Leave.
Fine, I shall. But heed my words, boy. Tomorrow will be a very rough awakening for you. I can feel it.
The morning rose with me stretching and yawning to sleep out my body. I surprisingly had a peaceful night, but apparently Damien didn't, as he wasn't in bed with me. I looked over to the side to see him not under the sheets, but standing by the fireplace, staring into the flames with bags under his eyes. I slowly rose from the bed and covered my mouth as another yawn escaped me. Damien? At the sound of my voice, he looked over, eyes glazed over in exhaustion. I could tell that something had kept him up, so I slid my legs off to the bed and walked over to him, wrapping my arms around him. What's wrong? I looked up into his violet blue eyes, trying to find an answer within them, despite it being impossible. Whenever that came up, I wanted to know and try to help. Still, Damien remained silent. His arms, however, wrapped themselves around my form and gently pulled me against his body, leaning his head forward against mine. With a soft, tired sigh, he closed his eyes and gave me a small squeeze.
Did you sleep well?
I slept well, which is weird because I usually have nightmares.
Good. That's good.
Don't you change the subject on me. Damien simply stared down at me, exhaustion plaguing his eyes, before shaking his head.
Nothing's wrong. At least, I don't think so.
Then why do you look so tired? Why are you acting so weird?
I didn't sleep much last night. Sorry.
But why though? Maybe you should head back to bed and try to catch some sleep. Damien opened his mouth to speak, but was interrupted by the sound of pounding fists at her door.
Oi! Got some food! Let us in!
Rise and shine!
Damien and I stared at the door before holding hands and circling around the bed to sit on the edges of it. As we settled onto the mattress, Damien called out, masking his exhaustion.
Come in.
The door opened to reveal the other incubi with their wives, who began to slowly pile in, each with a plate of food on their hands. Carrie and Sam, however, had 2 each and passes with their extra plates.
There you go.
Thanks, Gary.
There you go, bro.
Thank you, Sam.
The group settled into the room, making themselves comfy wherever they were standing or sitting on the bench. As I looked down at the plate in my hands, I took note of the food in it. Jerky, cheese, fruit, and bread. Simple. I began to chow down on the fruit as James cleared his throat.
So, we need to discuss training.
Sam and Matthew let out a simultaneous groan, obviously not in the mood to get into the conversation James wanted to start up.
Do we have to? Can't we wait until after breakfast?
As much as I would agree, we are strapped for time. We need to settle a plan, and soon.
We train like we used to do. Go and kick the bastard's ass, and we go home. Done.
Sam began to stuff his face, finished saying his piece as James pinched the bridge of his nose and let out a sigh of irritation. Carrie grabbed Sam's shoulder and shook it slightly, making him look up at her.
As awesome as you are, I don't think that'll be enough.
Indeed. We may be 5 strong, but we'd still be going up against the man who has always been stronger than all of us combined. We need to think logically about this.
Well, not to bring up the elephant in the room, but aren't you guys kind of downy, brother? At least demon-wise?
Everyone looked over at Norin, taking in what she had just said. She was right. Damien was human now and couldn't train like a demon, right? Damien looked down his plate again and began to eat in silence. What was wrong? The others continued to chat, ignoring me and Damien.
While Damien may be human now, he can still fight.
Any human can fight, really, if you piss them off enough. I think Damien's got more of a reason to be pissed off than anyone else.
Yeah, all 5 of us can kick his ass! 4 demons in a human style!
And the other human?
Well, not exactly.
At that moment, everyone turned their heads to see Diana at the door. To my surprise, her expression was a very guilt-driven and regretful demeanor. Something in my gut began to churn. What did she mean? What did she have in mind?
Not exactly?
You're not exactly down, a brother. At least not in the sense you are insinuating.
Diana stepped further into the room, placing her hands together by her stomach and looking to Damien, who simply looked back at her with tired but stern eyes.
What do you mean?
The room began to fill with a tense aura, making it clear that Diana was going to drop some sort of bombshell on us. In a fit of discomfort, Sam rolled his shoulders and practically spat out at Diana.
Well, out with it.
With a heavy and low breath, Diana looked into Damien's piercing gaze, no longer able to hide what secret she was keeping.
Damien, can you read my mind right now?
Silence once again trickled into the air. I looked to Damien, now very confused and concerned. Did he still have his mind-reading abilities? I thought she turned him human. He wasn't a demon anymore, right? As I stared, Damien kept his gaze locked on Diana, concentrating on her. Eerily slowly, his eyes began to widen with fearful dread. Was he able to read her mind after all? The next second became blurred as Damien pounced off the bed and charged at Diana, slamming her into the wall by her neck.
You lied to me! Damien!
Whoa!
Hey!
Whoa, he isn't
Swore
usually...
that I would be human!
Whoa, why is he so angry? We don't usually see Damien angry. I instantly stood, lost in a state of shock from seeing Damien lock Diana in a fist chokehold, pressing her hard against the stone wall behind her. Naturally, Diana gripped Damien's wrist, trying to pry it off her.
Why can't I read your thoughts?
Desperate for air, Diana lifted her leg up and kicked Damien off of her, vaulting him back to slam into Sam and Carrie. Diana buckled to the ground, coughing wildly as Sam managed to catch Damien and keep him both upright as Carrie held onto the bench to keep him falling back. Damien! I instantly rushed over to Damien, pulling him from Sam's hold and wrapping my arms around him. He was shaking and I caught sight of tears running down his cheeks as if he was trying to disbelieve what was happening.
What did you do to him?
Diana lifted her head and grasped her neck. However, her expression wasn't one of rage, but still a deep regret. She knew that this would happen and this was a deserved punishment. She expected this.
I never turned you human. I only drained you of your energy through a ritual. It was supposed to completely wipe out any need for energy, making you human, but you've never been completely transformed.
Damien attempted to lunge at Diana again, causing me to instinctively grip onto him and keep him back. None of this made sense. If he was still a demon, then eventually he would have needed energy, yet there was no point where he drained it from me. But Damien never felt like a demon. We've practically been magic-free for 2 years. That doesn't make any sense.
I've had no magic, no mind reading for 2 years. I never felt the need to feed or drain any energy the entire time. How is this possible?
You're in the demon world. This world is full of magic, strong enough to rekindle your abilities. The human world is too pure to give your body the power it needed to convert back to your demon state.
This This entire situation became a myriad of confusion. Damien never became human? Diana didn't fulfill her end of the deal? What was going on? Damien eventually slept into my arms, his adrenaline completely drained as he took in the truth of what had become of him. At the same time, the situation hit me as well. Damien was still a demon, unconsciously so, but still unchanged. A part of me was relieved, while the other part of me felt incredibly sorry for him.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Damien looked up at Diana, eyes full of tired rage. She stared back, flinching at the sight. I could feel the anger revolving around Damien's body as I held him close to me, which in turn almost frightened me.
You'll never be sorry for anything. The Princess of Lilith is too prideful to give a damn about anyone but herself, and it's always been that way.
Damn, dude. I could hear the venom snaking into his words as he struck them at the succubus. However, there was also deep pain and hurt. Who wouldn't be? He had been living a lie, and the reality of the truth was crashing down around him.
Was it funny? Tricking me into believing you? Oh, it must have been. Because you fooled me for the past 2 years and managed to get away with my energy. You always get what you want, don't you?
Should I? Okay, I'll stop him. He was right. This was unfair, but Diana did what was closest thing to making him human. She didn't expect him to come back to the demon world and rekindle his power, so in a way she did give him what he wanted. Diana slowly stood and rubbed her neck, rogue tears running down her face, but her expression contorted to one of cold hatred.
Well, the joke's on me then. I returned to see my kingdom in flames and my family gruesomely slaughtered. So I guess I didn't get what I wanted either.
That caused silence to engulf the room. That news formed a dark pit in my stomach, forcing me to imagine such a scene and shake it out of my thoughts furiously. Damien didn't speak. Instead, he moved and sat down on the bed, his head in his hands as he curled over his knees. I followed, wrapping my arms around him comfortingly. Damien's brothers, however, each took a step towards Diana.
Give Damien his energy back.
Impossible.
Like hell it is! If he's still a demon, he needs his energy to fight.
I've spent the last 10 years fighting the Demon Lord with both of their energies. I'm not as powerful as I was then, so I no longer have the ability to give him anything without risking my life.
Who said we gave a damn about you?
Sam steps up to Diana, leaning nose to nose with her. His anger flared around his body, giving an intimidating warning that didn't seem to faze her.
You fucked over our brother. You don't give a shit about what happened because of your fuck-up. You're gonna fix this, or else.
That's enough, Sam.
Eric, seemingly the only sensible one of the group of incubi, grabbed into Sam's shoulder and pulled him away from Diana. Sam gave in, still glaring at the succubus, before sitting down beside his wife on the bench. I, however, became torn. What was going to happen now? Damien was a demon again and was getting his powers back. Yet Damien didn't want his powers back at all, even at the risk of being the odd brother out. This entire situation became a conglomerate mess of uncertainty and confusion that I had to lower my head and close my eyes for a moment. Diana wiped her eyes, letting out a small sigh before she glanced around the room.
I will do what I can to fix this issue. For now, however, you can correctly assume that the 5 of you are all demons and can fight with your incubus abilities.
With a cold glare, Diana locked eyes with Sam. As she spoke, Sarah, who had only just entered the room, stepped behind Diana to add to her intimidation.
And if any of you dare step up to me and threaten me again, you will not live to see the final battle.
Sam moved his stance, sudden anger flashing through his expression, before Carrie grabbed hold of his arm and pulled him back down to sit beside her. Diana closed her eyes and took a breath before crossing her arms and regaining her professional composure. The air was filled with anxious irritation, but we had to let it go for now. We would hash everything out at a later time, but for now we had to focus on what was going to bring me and Damien home. Diana ran a hand to her hair and looked around the room, pressing her lips into a fine line.
So, about all of you participating in the war, you all obviously need to train.
Everyone nodded in agreement.
You, most of all.
Me?
Apparently, there are guidelines to breaking this curse. Not only do we have to kill the Demon Lord, but you have to be nearby when it happens for the curse to even break.
That makes no sense.
Shadow. He spent the night trying to find alternative ways to break your curse. Unfortunately, we didn't find anything of the sort, but we found the guidelines to breaking it. Even while it doesn't, it's still better to be safe than sorry. I don't want to kill him and then still have you stuck here because of an error.
Makes sense.
Anyway, We can't have you dying on the way there, and we can't monitor you when we're in battle. You should at least know how to defend yourself. That's why we've come up with a solution.
Huh? What solution?
Simple. The other rebel leaders and Sero have agreed that if you'd like a trainer to enhance your abilities, you can train with one of them. Each of the leaders is proficient in a different area of magic and battle strategy, good enough for self-defense. I can't speak for the others, but I can assure you that with Sero's skill and training methods, you will be well prepared by the time the siege arrives. Sergeant, Shadow, Rabbit, Faye?
Okay, so basically what I'm doing is that since there's 5 different trainers, each one of the routes with the boys, I'm going to choose a different one. I chose Shadow in the last one, so this one I'm going to choose Sero. Sero seems skilled enough to train me. He was Diana's right hand after all, and he was the one who apparently stopped the Demon Lord from getting his hands on me. Sero nodded and looked at Diana, who crossed her arms.
Very well. You've made a good choice, I assure you.
With that, Diana turned on her heel and left the room.
Finish eating. Afterwards, you should start training.
Everyone in the room nodded their affirmation as Diana and Sero left.
Well, it looks like we'll be busy for the next couple of days.
This'll be fun.
Man, training's gonna suck.
It'll be worth it, though.
Damien's right.
As we all finished eating, everyone left to either train or do things on their own. I left to finish my own work, determined to be prepared for what was to come. The Demon Lord wasn't going to win. I wouldn't let him. Okay guys, I'm gonna stop it here even though it's a little short than usual because I want to start the next one with training. So if you like this, go ahead and leave a like. If you have any suggestions for games, leave them down below. And if you'd like to subscribe to see more content like this, go ahead, I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.